Good morning. This is the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing, Wednesday, February 1st. Looking at precipitation the past 7 days on the left, fairly dry week for the most part. It comes with the cold, dry air that we've been having. You can see the percent of normal precipitation on the right. A lot of areas well below normal. The only exceptions maybe being eastern Idaho and parts of far western Wyoming, but overall still a very wet winter so far. And let's look back at some of the precipitation we've had, and we'll start here looking at the monsoon, July through September. You can see where we were drier than normal up here in Idaho and significantly wetter than normal with the monsoon. And the main axis of the monsoon actually went further westwards than normal and into parts of southern, central, and even northern Nevada. And then we look on the right for the wintertime precipitation. Dry in the far south in the Vegas area, Spring Mountains, but you can see the wetter than normal signal. And again, the wetness in central and northern Nevada, a lot of that overlaps the wetness of the monsoon. We look at this now to kind of get an idea of what our fine fuel grass crop might look like going into the upcoming fire season. 100-hour fuels in those areas that have been dry the past week, the 100-hour fuels have responded 11 to 15%. It's the driest in our area, but still not critical at all. Snowfall the past 72 hours here, we've had several inches along the higher terrain of the Wasatch into southern Utah and along the Sierra front as well, not much further north. But because of the very cold air, you can see the extensive snow cover covering about 80% to 90% of the Great Basin, even down into the Snake River Plain here and into the valleys of Nevada and much of Utah. Snow cover continues. And the snowpack in the higher elevations are looking really good, especially in the southern half of the Great Basin, anywhere from 50 to 100% above normal, even 246% of normal in some of the higher terrain near Ely. Ironically, the only places that are closer to normal are in the northern portion of the Great Basin, parts of Idaho and western Wyoming. Satellite imagery, deep low pressure down in Baja, pushing a lot of moisture up from the south, but that's away from us. We have high pressure nosing in, still some cold air in place. Another storm system starting to get together across the Pacific coast. So for today, the high pressure builds in, and because of that snow cover, probably going to see a lot of long-lasting inversions continuing. No issues in our 7-day. Everything is benign. Humidities, you can see them overall near 50% for dry humidities, except down into the low to mid-teens in the Vegas area. Transport winds overall fairly light, a little gusty out of the north down in the Vegas area with those dry humidities, something to keep in mind. Mixing heights, you can see where the deep inversions will continue in the blue and purple shades across many areas. High pressure still in control over the entire Great Basin on Thursday. There's that storm system starting to gather some moisture off the Pacific Northwest and Northern California coast. Humidity levels, again, near 50% for minimum humidities, except locally drier down south. Light overall transport winds, mixing heights, lots of inversions continuing throughout the day. So really not a good prescription for burning in terms of the low-level inversions. Friday, that high pressure gets shifted out. That storm system, it weakens, but it brings in some mixing, some clouds, maybe some light precipitation. Some transport winds start increasing through here. Humidity levels on the right, nothing out of the ordinary, but you can see here that the mixing heights start improving significantly across Nevada. Still some low-level inversions across parts of northern Utah and the Snake River Plain. 3-day precipitation totals pretty dry across most areas. Some light precipitation late in the period across the higher terrain of Idaho, and there's the deeper moisture off the Northern California and Pacific Northwest coast. Storm system there still in place, pushing the first wave of moisture to our north, but hitting parts of Idaho on Saturday. Storm system pushes further south and get more widespread cloud cover and light to locally moderate precipitation under this green area on Sunday. That storm fizzles out and starts weakening as it moves eastwards. High pressure starts nosing back in, and low pressure deepens in the southern areas, but we dry out towards the middle part of next week. Here is the precipitation for Saturday morning through Monday morning. See widespread, but on the light to just locally moderate side, and it starts tapering off later on in the Monday to Wednesday period. And here are the 7-day totals. The 8 to 14-day outlook shows cooler than normal temperatures continuing and a transition towards somewhat wetter than normal as we go into the second week of February. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.